Testing, testing. One, two, three. We are live right now. Car Coulage for the Sports Hit List by the fans and for the fans. I believe we just went through live. Just want to make sure and double check that people are hearing as we file into the comments. Thank you for joining us here. I'm going to bring in my contributors, Jordan and Ziggy, as we just wrapped up game one of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Atlanta Hawks and the Milwaukee Bucks. 116-113 is your final. The Atlanta Hawks take game one. I'm going to bring in, not going to waste any time, bring in Ziggy Zig and what he likes to call himself as the troll goat. Excuse me, 1 second. Fix my headphones. Zig, can you hear me, sir?
Yo, my man, send the Zoom properly, bro.
Listen. Here's the thing, and you want me to be, I'm always as transparent as possible. It's not my fault. I hit the go, it didn't go, so I had to stop the Zoom and start it again. Things happen. Jordan, you have to flip your phone again, my brother. I can't see you're the other way. One more time. There you go. So Perfect. It's not my fault. Blame Zoom. Don't blame me.
Blame Zoom about what?
I can't curse, but whatever, my guy.
It didn't work. Like, you think I did it on purpose? Like, how do you think I feel?
Bro, watch your tone.
I'm not. No, you coming at me like, oh, get the Zoom link right. Don't come for me unless I send for you.
You're mad loud, son.
No, but come on, man. Like, I'm trying over here, and you sit here telling me to watch it.
Bro, I would do it, right? I would do it. Don't let me do it.
Why?
It's right there.
Come on, don't do that to me, man. Come on. All right, guys. Game one just wrapped up. It was. Give me 1 second. I want to share it in the group
no problem.
Give me 1 second.
We gotta get the views up. This one.
Oh yeah, last night was pretty lit, Jordan. I don't know if you can tell that one.
Last night was crazy.
Last night was wild.
Because you had Andres on, and Andres is a Paul George fan.
Clearly, he is. I don't want to spend too much time talking about him, but he was really in his feelings last night, and you could see it was coming through the camera screen. It was really coming real bad through the camera screen. So we have people who are here right now watching. Thank you for joining us. We just finished, as I said, 116-113 is your final. The Hawks take another game one. So they took game one against the Knicks. They took game one against Philly in Philly. And then now they take Milwaukee for game one. There's a pattern here, but someone will sit here and literally tell me that, oh, Carl, it's not true. I'm making things up, but I tend to see a pattern. The Hawks win game one. They've won the series. I'm just going by facts here. So Zig, what were your overall thoughts of the game before we really dive deep into it?
Man, for the moment for me, I think the game started in the third quarter. It was not back and forth. It was really neck and neck in the first half. I wasn't really paying attention to it at that point. But then when that third quarter jumped in and Trae Young already let off like 10 plus points, 12 points, I think, in the third quarter. And it looked like Atlanta was about to run away with it. That's when I really started to see the steam pick up. The Bucks was able to, combat that with a couple of good shots by Drew Holiday, who was leading the way. And shout out to Giannis for doing what he was doing. But I don't want to take up too much of the time. Like I said, I want to pass it to Jordan as well. We'll get more into it as we go on.
But I always like to have turning points. I kind of had a feeling Trae Young is doing the shimmy. He's literally at that point, I'm kind of thinking to myself, wait a minute, and he feels so confident enough to do it mid third quarter. Yep. You kind of get a sense like, how is this guy literally dancing on the court? Yep. And Milwaukee's just looking at him do it. And then you get Gallo doing the same thing. Gallo doing a quick step back. How is that even possible? Like, I think at that point for me, that was the turning point, realizing like the Hawks are going to win this game. Jordan.
I mean, I picked the same exact turning point as you did, because once I saw Trae like literally make Drew Holiday go in the opposite direction and literally just stood there and looked at everybody and just like shimmied real quick, and shot that three and made it. And I was just like, this is different. And you know what? That brings me to a different point, because I know like Ray Jarvis said that Steph Curry is like that. Trae Young is like that. For him to come down and drop over 40 in Milwaukee, backs against the wall, just say screw it and we just ball and that's it. And then same with John Collins. John Collins came here to play. He had 20, right? And he had 15 rebounds. And it's just like, that's amazing. That's a team. And that team too, like they started off the season kind of like iffy, and then they make a coaching change, and then all of a sudden it's a different ball game. See, I have faith in the Hawks. Honestly, I have the Hawks. I'll save my prediction for later.
Listen, I tried to make the argument last night by telling Ziggy and Andres that an underdog team has that momentum going in, and the fact that everyone's like, well, you know what, we have to look at the Bucks. This is the Bucks series to win. But from what I'm seeing right now, I'm not having game one fever, but before the series, I thought the Hawks were going to come in here and pull off the upset. We can dive into the numbers. Chris Middleton clearly all of 9 from three. The Bucks total shot 22% from three. Really struggled here. Zig, talk about their 3-point ball. It's kind of like what Chuck says, right? You live by the three, you die by the three. It looks like the Hawks died by
they definitely
the Bucks
died
by the three tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely died by the three tonight, but I'm not even gonna look at that as an excuse because at the end of the day, the game was still close. He was right there. Imagine if they did hit those threes. Who knows what the score would have been, right? So I'm not gonna bank it on that, but I'm looking at Chris Middleton. You got to do better, bro. Drew Holiday comes in with 30 piece. This has been a long time coming. Drew Holiday has been kind of struggling in this playoffs, having some up and down moments, but he really broke out tonight. And Giannis also gave you a 30. What did he give you the triple double? Did he almost get it? I know he was nearing it, but you got to give me more than 15 on 6 to 22 shooting. That's horrible, bro.
Giannis did 34, 12, and 9. Drew Holiday finished with 33, 4, and 10.
Right.
On the other side, we have Trae Young with 46, 7, and 11. And then
John Collins
23, 15, 11. The low key for me, honestly, is going to be Jordan's former guy, Clint Capella, man. Shout out to Clint Capella. My man finished with 12 and 19, and he had the putbacks, offensive rebounds. I don't think Clint Capella gets enough credit, and people said he was mismatched.
Hold on, let me jump back in there because that's what I was coming to. You guys said that the turning point for you guys was the shimmy, right? For me, the turning point was when the Hawks was able to get back-to-back possession, have back-to-back possession with offensive rebounding, right? There was a point in the game where somebody on the Hawks had missed. John Collins got the rebound. It happened 2 more times, and somehow John Collins found himself on the wing. He banged the 3, and then it happened again on the same next play, coming to Jordan's former guy in Clint Capella. So for me, that was the turning point of the game, and I'm gonna pass it off to Jordan now.
So Jordan, now we praised the Hawks and what they're able to do. What can the Bucks do here? I mean, they're clearly not out of the series. I mean, Hawks got 1, that's fine. Now you have going into game 2. What adjustments Bud has to make going into game 2 now, giving the Hawks momentum after game 1?
The thing is, what's crazy is I don't think Milwaukee needs too many changes to their game plan whatsoever. I just genuinely think that they just simply lost the game at the end of the game. I mean, they were up by how much? 5 with only a couple seconds left or so, and it wasn't too much. And I don't think they didn't really need to change much, but I think obviously Trae should not be having 40, at home. I don't think that I don't think that Chris Middleton, as well as Zig said, that I don't think Chris Middleton should be doing that well either. That poorly either. I think that Chris Middleton needs to completely come back game 2 and shut everybody up. Guarding Trae and also John Collins. John Collins is like that, yes, but John Collins actually really did well, really, really well.
One other thing I saw too was sorry to cut you off, Jordan, was when Trae was guarding Giannis and he stopped him. And I didn't get that. They switched Trae onto Giannis. Giannis did his little move and he missed the layup. And I'm sitting here why isn't Giannis able to take Trae Young? How does that match? That's a mismatch to me.
But how many times did that happen?
A couple of times. It didn't happen often, but it happened a couple of times. And for me, it's a matter of when I see Giannis playing, there are a lot of little things that we call bunnies that he's missing. A lot of things that he's trying to finger roll that he's clearly missing. I thought what they did well, clearly worked to keep them in the game, was clearly the alley hoop, the pick and roll alley hoops to
the 1-5 Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday. They did it maybe 3 or 4 times consecutively, and it worked. And then after that, they went back to the 3-pointer, which didn't work. So I understand we're in the mindset of a new NBA. We're going to shoot a lot more high volume threes, but you have one play that works. Why not continue doing that play as opposed to trying to fall back on the 3, which clearly wasn't falling when you shoot 22% from beyond the arc?
Maybe they were tired.
Are we going that route again? Are we doing that again? We're not doing that tired nonsense. We talk about tired. We talk about tired. We're not talking about the game. We're talking about tired right now.
Tired, bro. Listen, I honestly just believed they just were running out of steam. I don't know. I think at that point they were settling because there was even a point where Trae Young started to settle in the 4th quarter. it really honestly could have been that fatigue factor setting in, but the difference in that is that Trae Young was able to still. That's why I appreciate his game so much. He's still able to get other people involved. In that case, he was getting John Collins involved. So looking at what the Bucks were doing, I don't think the Bucks are gonna have a miserable 3-point shooting night again like this. I look forward to seeing them bounce back, and we're just gonna have to give it some time. But like I said, you got to give these guys their credit. I mean, I don't want these guys to win. I'm not even gonna hold you. I do not want Atlanta to win.
You don't want Atlanta to win because they beat your team? Or?
Yeah,
absolutely.
probably.
Like I'm not rooting, and I can't. But I can't.
I'm rooting for Atlanta, man. I love the.
I don't dislike Trae Young. I don't dislike Trae
Young.
Young.
Trae Young,
bro. Trae Young was dancing on the court.
I love Trae Young,
bro. He was shimmy. When you have the player shimmying on the court, what does that say? Like he's basically adding insult to injury. How do you allow him? Like my man just looked at them. He went like this. And then he shot. Like, how do you allow that to happen? I don't understand that. How do you allow that to happen?
He get knocked out.
This is crazy, man. He's looking like Antoine Walker out there. Like he's just all over the place.
It's the showboating. Like you gotta love that. That's playoff basketball.
And he's backing it up. It's
Come
not
on,
even,
man.
Listen,
yeah, it's not
there's
like
one thing with showboating
doing all that and not backing
he's backing it up. This is crazy to me.
I love Trae Young.
And mind you, Gallo's doing the same thing too. It's like a whole team nonsense. And Collins talking it was a great display to see from the Hawks to come out and literally punch the Bucks in the face game one and make a statement. But Zig, heading into game two, do the Bucks tie it up or can the Hawks head home 2-0?
Man, every time I pick against Atlanta, it's like they keep winning. So I don't know, man.
Pick against them again. Pick against them again.
Screw it. I'm gonna say screw that. I think Atlanta's gonna take game two, man. I don't know if Drew Holiday's gonna be able to give me that.
Is that a little reverse psychology over here?
Maybe.
Cool. Real talk, Zig. All right, real talk.
Real talk.
No cap.
I'm gonna go with the Bucks. I think the Bucks are gonna be able to pull out game two. I think they were probably stunned a little bit by this here game one, but I don't think Chris Middleton, like I said, is gonna come out 6 for 22. And maybe Drew Holiday doesn't drop 30 points, but if he can provide that solid defense, not so much on Trae because he was getting picked every night. But if he can at least give me 20, 25 points with Chris Middleton chipping in with 22, 25, and Giannis doing his regular, I think the Bucks will pull out game two.
I can't wait to go listen to Inside the NBA and hear what Chuck and
that's why I keep looking.
I know, right? I'm trying to compete right now with NBA Inside the NBA. I think I'm doing okay for 12 people. Like the 12 people not watching them, they're watching us. So I'll take it any night. Jordan, 2-0 or 1-1 after game two?
1-1. I genuinely think 1-1. I think Milwaukee comes back. You're going back to Milwaukee. It's kind of like what the Knicks did when they won game two. It's like there's a lot of energy coming to Milwaukee, like the city of Milwaukee. They're going to come back. They're going to make sure that they don't leave and go back to Atlanta down 0-2. There's no way you made it this far to be down 0-2, in going back to Atlanta. And even if it did go back to Atlanta, then I would see it going 2-2 and then it going back to Milwaukee. But no, I definitely think the Bucks take this one. I think Chris Middleton steps up a lot more than he did tonight. I don't think that – I mean, I love Trae Young, but I don't think he's dropping another 40-piece in game two. I don't think that John Collins is going to be as amazing as he was tonight. I don't think Clint Capella is going to be as amazing as you. So it's just like sometimes you get a little like game one, like you look good, and then game two, it's not the same. It kind of fizzles out. It happens to the best of them.
Reggie Miller throughout the game kept calling Trae Young. He didn't say he was a star. He kept using that word superstar. And we know how we feel in the hitless streets about calling people stars and superstars.
He's not a superstar.
So Trae Young is not a superstar after these
performances. Not yet. He's on the verge.
Yeah.
But not yet is he a superstar yet.
So it's too early to label him the superstar.
It's too early. He's been in the league like how many? 3 years?
But he's doing it he did it in the regular season. He's doing it in the playoffs now. And he's still in. So I'm just calling as fair as fair.
Listen, you gotta. I don't want to. You can think about it. You can think about it. It could be on the tip of your tongue, and I won't fight you if you want to call him a superstar now. Me personally, though, I'm not gonna call him a superstar until if he wins the championship. I'm gonna flat out call him that.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
If he loses and somehow gets back to this round again next year, doing the same thing, I'll call him a superstar.
Right.
But I need more.
He can't get that nod.
I need more.
He can't get that nod, proving everybody wrong, and no one had the Hawks in the Eastern Conference Finals. We can't give him that nod.
Say that part again, see?
I said that no one expected the Hawks to be here, up 1-0 in the Eastern Conference Finals in 2021, and we
No.
still can't give him that superstar label? That's really that hard for us to do?
Star. Like Trae Young's not a superstar. He's like, I can't see him
He
being a
doesn't-
superstar right now.
listen,
You
I'm
have
not
to
picking,
fight
but
through the ranks before you get.
He
to
didn't
superstar.
fight. He didn't fight through the ranks in the playoffs to fight through that to get that label.
Hold on,
Knocking
But
let
off
me-
that's
number
too
one seed.
soon. Like,
let me
look
throw
at
it
the
back to
superstars
you,
of
see?
today. How
Let me
long
throw-
did it
let me
take
throw an
most of
answer
the
back to you.
superstars to get that title? Like when you look at like James Harden, I hate of all people, the first person I thought of was James Harden. But how long did it take for James Harden to get that superstar?
Okay, so
like,
you tell me, when did he
stamp?
get that title? After what? The second year in Houston, or the first, like the second or third year in Houston? You kind of gave it to him.
I'd say the year after during 2017, the 2017 season when they lost to the Spurs in the
Bro,
second
come
round.
on, man. Listen,
That
they
was
gave
when I
James Harden
gave
that
him the
label
real
before that.
superstar. I
Bro,
just
they made it to
considered
the
him a
Western
star.
Conference Finals in 2015. You didn't tell me James Harden was a superstar at that point?
But how did they make the Western Conference Finals?
On the back of Harden, did they not?
Game 6 was on the back of Harden. Game 6 in LA was in the back of Harden.
No, it wasn't on the back of Harden.
That's
but
what
still,
I'm thinking.
but
like in big moments like that, that was a big moment. That was more of just like
we're
the
talking
team
about
got
now.
out.
Trey Young is in big moments now. He did it in New York
understand,
at the
but I'm
Garden.
ready for
Listen,
the
hold on,
star,
time
All
out.
right, so wait, hold on. See, let
Time
me
out.
ask you this.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you this. Is Devin Booker a superstar?
He's on that same cusp with Trey Young too.
So
it's
exactly,
the
you
same
can't-
thing.
can't call him that yet.
I'm saying okay. So let's
Hold on, wait, one more person for you. One more person. Is Luka a superstar?
Nah, not yet.
Mm.
But I believe Trey Young and Devin Booker are ahead of him, and that's fair based on these playoffs. We wouldn't put them ahead of him in that line.
I bet ahead of Luka
Yeah,
Ooh.
right now.
right. Devin Booker and Trey Young are now ahead of Luka right now,
I
and what
don't
they're
know.
performing, guys. Come on, open your eyes.
know.
Let's
I
be
don't
real.
know.
Trey Young, maybe.
Luka's crazy. You know what I mean? Like Luka's
Trey
crazy.
Young is literally performing in front of you right now.
Yeah, no,
Trey
Young is crazy.
I will
Trey
give
Young
you
is
Trey Young.
Trey
Listen,
Young
you
is
can call me
like-
a prisoner of the
Book
moment.
yet.
You can call me a prisoner of the moment. But again, Trey Young and Devin Booker are in it right now.
Wait. Would you call Jason Tatum a superstar?
No, not yet. No.
Really? Why is
No.
that?
No, because again, it comes down
Why is
to
that?
Kenny Smith says it always. In the regular season, you make your name. In the playoffs, you make your fame.
Make your fame.
Right? You make your fame. These guys are making their fame right now. Trey Young and Devin Booker are making their legacy. They're building their legacies right now. So,
Right.
Is it preliminary for you to say that they're superstars? It can be, but we're assessing what they're doing right now. They're in the Eastern and the Western Conference Finals right now.
So I'm assessing what they're doing right now. So if we had assessed, there's no ifs. So when you assessed what Jason Tatum was doing years ago, right? When he took him to the ECF and went 7 with Bron, you at no point thought like, oh, he's on the cusp of being a superstar, or he could be a superstar.
Well, again, wasn't that his rookie year though? These guys have been in the league more than rookie years, no?
And then
Trey
what
Young,
happened the next year
Trey
after
Young's been
that?
in the league for what, 3 years, hasn't he? Right?
What happened the next year after that?
The year after Tatum went
You made
on
it to the
LeBron?
ECF again, no?
No, we didn't. Not that following year. After 18, 19, we didn't because Kyrie came back and we lost to the Bucks in 5 that year.
Oh yeah, no. Okay,
Right,
my bad.
yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
I got that. I got it.
In 20, we made it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
My
You're
bad.
right.
Okay,
Yeah.
but then you made it back to the ECF.
Yes. Okay. And then
Okay.
this year, okay. So then we look at this year now, and what happened? We got knocked out the first round. So what I'm trying to tell you is, again, these guys, this is their first time making their playoffs runs, and they're impressive as is. I see what you're doing, and I see where you're going. All I'm saying is that we shouldn't close the door on not labeling them because we're seeing what they're doing now, and clearly their trajectory is going to go higher and higher and higher.
You saw our reactions. We're not like oh, that's a horrible take. We're just saying we need to see more. It's
okay.
too early.
I don't think it's
at
terrible.
this point. So at this point, it's either the more that you need to see are championships or more deep playoff runs. Is that what you're saying? Is that fair to say?
Of
Right.
course.
One or
That's
the
why
other for
I
them.
could call Jason Tatum a superstar.
You can label him a superstar at this point.
I'd call him one.
Zig?
I am not calling Jason Tatum a superstar.
I think he's a superstar.
I can't call Jason Tatum a superstar.
I think he is.
All right, guys. Before I let you go, the Western Conference, a quick preview. That game tomorrow, game 3.
Yep. Because they don't.
You know, we have to talk about it
every
because
other night, right?
Yeah, they are playing every other night based upon the schedule, the screwed up NBA schedule, according to Mr. Numbers, right?
Before you
Andres, I love
into-
you though. I love
Before you
Andres.
get into Western Conference, real quick, there was a point where Milwaukee got the ball right, and they were down 3, and they ran the ball over the court or whatever. They ran to the other side, and trying to figure out what to do with the ball. Giannis ends up with it. Solomon Hill fouls him. Giannis gets to the free throw line. He knocks
He
down
makes
not
both
one,
free throws.
Oh,
Both. Yeah, he made both.
but he knocks down both free throws. Correct me if I'm wrong, Carl. You could do you. I know you got the laptop there, whatever. Who has a higher free throw percentage, Paul George or Giannis?
I believe it's Paul.
All right.
George.
So let's just talk about that. With that
Listen,
being said, I'm sticking to what I told you
Yesterday.
last night, I
yeah.
believe.
Yeah.
And I'm
all the days
playing
are all
against
one
that.
now at this point, Zig.
Say it again.
I said all the days are adding up since we're doing so many lives. They're all adding up.
Yeah.
Track.
I'm not used to being here like back to back.
So, Troll Goat, what are your thoughts for Game 3 heading into the Western Conference Finals?
The Suns in 5, but I think that the Clippers do take Game 3. I think they're going to go back to LA. LA's crowd's going to be live. I think Terrence Mann's going to have a good game. I think Paul George is going to have a good game. I think Paul George is going to shut a lot of people up based off of everything that happened after Game 2.
I hope so.
So I genuinely think that like the Suns are going to put up a fight, but I think the Suns are going to ultimately lose the game. But it's still Suns in 5.
Suns in 5. And Zig, you're
Right.
going Suns with the sweep. That's what you said to us yesterday, right?
Yeah, I'm sticking with Suns in 4.
Oh,
man.
wow.
Like I said, I would really love for myself to be wrong, but without Kawhi, I just don't see it happening.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me here on the Sports Hit List Live to wrap up Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Please make sure you tune in. Tomorrow night, we will have...
Can I give a shout out?
You can give as many shots as you want, Jordan. Go for it, man.
All right, quick shout out. I want to shout out the Houston Rockets right now, obviously, for obvious reasons. I want to shout us out for getting the number 2 pick. I don't know what Raphael Stone, our GM, I don't know what he's going to do with them, but he could either trade it. I wouldn't hate it if he traded it for a star, but, I mean, if he uses it on Jalen Green, Evan Mobley, I'll take either one. You know, if
Evan
somehow...
Mobley.
Listen.
You got
I'm
Christian
okay.
Wood.
Listen, but it's like, that's defensive talent. You can't say no to like all defensive talent. You know, if he gets to that level, you know, if you could get like a Twin Towers kind of.
I knew that's where you was going with it.
Christian Wood stretches the floor. He could shoot. You know, Christian Wood is not just like a paint. He's not just in the paint. You know, so if you want to go more traditional, you could do something like that. So obviously, I want to give a big shout out to Houston. I wish we would have gotten the number 1. I hope Detroit. I mean, I would just hope Detroit like blows this pick, kind of like what they did with Darko Milicic all the way back then. But like, I really hope that Detroit screws this one up and like picks Jalen Green or something, and then we could get Cade Cunningham. I would love that. That would do great wonders for my backcourt. But yeah, we're on the come up, man. We're on the come up. Watch out. I'm just telling you, watch out.
I just want you to know, right, that you've seen what's going on in the NBA, and it's a guard league, man. So
I understand that.
Getting Evan Mobley
I understand that.
would be the best thing for y'all franchise right now.
So you think Jalen Green? So a guard.
Either Jalen Green or possibly Jalen Suggs. I don't think Detroit's going to screw up and not take Cade Cunningham. Oh my God, oh my God.
I actually saw an article. That said that I gotta find that article. I'm gonna post it in the group like later, right after this. That said that the Pistons might not be 100% sold on Cade Cunningham just yet. Like, he's gonna meet with the Pistons, but apparently that's what I heard. I had from the sources from the streets. What the streets said was that the Pistons may or may not go with, and they're not 100% like they don't know if the Pistons will actually go with Cade Cunningham 100%. This is what I read. I think that they're gonna go with Cade. I'm not saying that they won't. I don't know what they're saying in the comments right now. But if you're saying that like I'm delusional, no, I just read it. That's it.
All I know is that Zig, you and I don't have to deal with those draft problems anymore, at least for the time.
Max said it earlier. I ain't got to even talk on it.
We don't have to talk about it. But Mac did say something before I let you guys go, and people are going to call me crazy because I like to draw up my narratives and see what bites. Mac said something during the live. If you watched it, he talked about how the Nets were not going to stick with the big 3. He didn't drop any names, but he was hinting towards Kyrie Irving. Now, this coming from me, people are going to believe that I'm trying to stick it at Kyrie. I let all that Boston stuff go. I'm not talking about that. I want to sit here and talk about basketball. And I put up a post about how Ben Simmons for Kyrie Irving in a trade. And everyone went KY and they're like, oh my God, I'm crazy. What the hell am I thinking? What the hell am I talking about? No. But given what Mac told us and the information that we have at our disposal and having our own womb and understanding that going into this offseason, there's a lot of circumstances with a lot of different teams and a lot of movements, which will determine, and Mike said it best, is off who wins the championship. would that be the best thing moving forward for the Nets, or do they just run it back? Do they run it back with the 3, or do they try to trade Kyrie Irving or one of the pieces? If it's not Kyrie, it's somebody else to try to stay.
I'm gonna just swing that to Jordan first.
Run it back. Run it back.
Real quick, Jordan. Real quick before we sign off.
Everybody's talking about Harden running on one leg. Everybody like Kyrie obviously wasn't there. Harden running on one leg. KD playing how many minutes a game? You know what I mean? So it's just like finally, okay, fatigue. I understand what happened with the word fatigue right now. It's a sore word, you know. But like obviously fatigue was hitting the Nets. So, you know, game 7, you could clearly see that. I mean, first of all, I wasn't on for that after that post game. I wish I kind of was, because that shot was incredible. That shot that KD hit when he was literally just a shoe size away from hitting the game winner. Because if he was a shoe size smaller, that's a 3. So, no, but like, I genuinely think that you have to run it back. You literally have to run it back, because you didn't get you didn't technically get the full season with Harden. Like you came in, like it was a couple games in, like 18, 19 games. And then finally the Rockets traded Harden away. So I think you get the full season in with Harden, Kyrie, and KD together. This time, hopefully Kyrie's not getting with them distractions with birthday parties and like everything going on. And I hope that, you know, Kyrie's mental's up for it. And if everyone's mental's up for it and they're 100% healthy, mental, physical, and emotional, the Nets are winning this. The Nets are winning next year. You have to run it back. You can't bring in Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons, after what he just did, after everything he just did, passing out of an open layup.
Thanks. Eastern Conference is getting, I believe the Eastern Conference is getting stronger. But, I mean, clearly you're going to say run the Nets back. Thoughts?
Definitely, man. You can't, for all the reasons Jordan mentioned, you can't break this team up. Definitely not to bring in no Ben Simmons. Not at this point right now. Ben Simmons, you got to develop an offensive game before I even think about even bringing you to any other team, let alone Brooklyn, because I'm not pulling the trigger on that. I wouldn't even entertain that. You saw what happened in the Milwaukee Nets series, right? Where what was it? The Kyrie and the Nets, KD and the Nets, Kyrie and the Nets, whatever. They were up 2-0, right? The minute Kyrie gets hurt, everything starts turning crazy, turning downwards. And then you saw what happened. They were still in it with KD and a one-legged James Harden. So as Jordan just mentioned, imagine if you have all 3 of those guys
together playing well. Now they have more chemistry.
Was going to be theirs. Honestly.
If anything, they have more chemistry now,
right,
than they did at the beginning of the season. So you go into a full season now. They're going to have an off season where they can come together, even grow that chemistry even better. Why would you screw that up and then go get? Okay, I understand you said Ben Simmons, Carl, but like at the end of the day, like why would you even blow that up? Period. I don't care for who. Maybe unless it was like Damian Lillard or something. But like, why would you blow that up? Period. At all.
You don't break that up. You run it back, and you fill in the.
They can run it back. All I'm saying is this: from what I've seen this year, and what we've seen this year, and understanding that health is wealth. That goes a long way in staying healthy and winning championships. That's a big part of this whole situation, which we cannot predict. That's all I'm saying. And I firmly believe the Eastern Conference is getting stronger. With the display I've seen this year and the competitiveness I've seen through teams and what's going to happen in this free agency and the multiple question marks that we have going into this summer 2021 free agency and how players may shift and move around. All I'm saying is that just keep an eye open for the Eastern Conference. That teams are going to
I'm gonna keep an eye open. But let's keep in mind, too, that they weren't playing for a good amount of time without the full capacity of fans. So let's see if that plays a role in some of these mentals, because we keep talking about mental. Let's see if that also plays a role.
That's a fair point.
Coming up next season.
That's absolutely a fair point, because I said it in the live earlier today, is that there are a lot of mitigating factors going into 2021. Kawhi Leonard can opt out. LeBron James is a year older. You got problems in New Orleans with Zion Williamson. You got Karl Anthony Towns possibly on the trading block. Kyle Lowry available. There are a lot of different things, and this is just me going off the dome. And
add Ben Simmons too.
Add Ben Simmons to that, and I'm not even looking up the free agent tracker and seeing contracts and looking at who wants to dump salaries and whatnot. These are a lot of different other factors going into this year's free agency, and we always say the free agency is a lot better than the regular season. So, so let's take a look at it. Listen, again, I'm not going to sit here and say it's the Nets championship to give, because we did that in the beginning of the year, and look what happened. That's exactly what we said going into this year. We said, oh, it's the Nets and Lakers, and I was even guilty of it, and look where we are now. So all I'm saying is we should keep an open mind when we're trying to figure out, when we're looking at the dynamic going into 2021, 2022, and seeing cap room, looking at what teams exactly, what moves they want to do, looking at the draft. The Warriors, Klay Thompson's coming back, right? Klay Thompson's supposed to come back healthy. What do they want to do with draft picks or so forth, or rebuilding their team? So there are a lot of factors. I can't just clear cut and say, well, the Nets are going to win it next year as long as those guys stay healthy. There are a lot of other different factors. Is who's going to come back on their bench? You know, is Spencer Dinwiddie going to be out? I believe his contract, like he didn't.
He's going to opt out.
Yeah, he's going to opt out. So there are a lot of other factors for us to think about, and it just makes me look forward as we're getting closer to the summer. Really, it makes me look forward to the free agency and seeing what moves teams make. That's all we got to say. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Tomorrow night we'll have another post game. Friday there will not be a post game. I'll be away in Boston on a family trip. I apologize. I'm trying to get someone to host the show on Friday night to have a post game, but if I can't get no one, there will be a night off. But I'll be back on Saturday to host I believe it would be game 4 of the Western Conference Finals post game, but I won't do it for the Hawks game 3. Please make sure, as always, I'm going to repeat it until it's ingrained in your mind. Like, share, comment, subscribe to all Sports Hit List content. Tomorrow night will be a post game, and then Friday we'll have Smoke and Mirrors at 1 o'clock. You guys have a good night and stay safe.